The crystalline scales of Zarathos caught the artificial starlight filtering through the dome of New Kepler Station, each facet reflecting a century of loneliness. The ancient dragon lay coiled around the central spire of the abandoned mining colony, his massive form having grown into the very architecture over the decades. His golden eyes, each the size of a hover car, tracked the approaching human shuttle with a mixture of hope and resignation. Mino adjusted her translator headset and checked her equipment one final time. As the galaxy's leading xenopsychologist, she had encountered many unusual cases, but a lovesick space dragon was a first even for her. Beside her in the pilot's seat, David ran through the landing sequence with practiced efficiency, his engineers' mind already calculating the structural modifications they might need to make. "You sure about this, Mino?" David asked, his weathered hand steady on the controls despite the concern in his voice. "The Galactic Council has been trying to relocate Zarathos for 50 years. What makes you think we can succeed where they failed?" Mino smiled, her dark eyes reflecting the same determination that had made her famous across 7 star systems. "Because they've been treating this like a logistics problem. It's not. It's a matter of the heart." The shuttle touched down on the station's landing pad with barely a whisper. As they disembarked, the magnitude of their task became apparent. Zarathos was enormous, easily 300 meters from snout to tail, and his scales had begun to fuse with the station's superstructure. Metallic vines of his own making had wound through the corridors, creating a hybrid of biological and technological architecture that would have been beautiful if it weren't so melancholy. "Zarathos," Mino called out, her voice carrying across the empty plaza. "I am Mino Chen, and this is David Rodriguez. We've come to listen." The great head descended slowly, each movement causing the station to groan softly. When Zarathos spoke, it was through the station's communication system, his voice a harmonious blend of organic warmth and digital precision. "Another delegation," the dragon rumbled. "Come to offer me a new world, new hunting grounds, new territories to claim. But what good are vast spaces when one has no one to share them with?" David stepped forward, his engineer's eye taking in the seamless integration of dragon and station. "You've been alone here for 104 years?" 104 years, 7 months, 12 days, Zarathos confirmed. "I came here as part of the great exodus from our dying homeworld. We scattered across the galaxy seeking new homes. I chose this place because the humans who built it reminded me of us. Builders, dreamers, creatures who shaped the universe to their will. But they left, as all things do, and I stayed." Mino felt her heart clench at the profound sadness in the dragon's voice. "Why did you stay, Zarathos?" "Because I believed someone would come. My mate perhaps following my trail across the stars, or another of my kind who had grown as tired of wandering as I. But dragons are proud creatures, Dr. Chen. We do not admit to loneliness easily." David was examining the biomechanical fusion with growing amazement. "You've kept this entire station operational for over a century. The life support, the gravity generators, the structural integrity. You've become the heart of this place." "What else was I to do?" Zarathos asked. "Let it die as everything else dies?" "No. I made it part of me, and I part of it. Now we wait together." Mino exchanged a glance with David. In their years of partnership, she the xenopsychologist, he the engineer, they had learned to communicate volumes with a single look. David nodded almost imperceptibly. "Zarathos," Mino said carefully, "what if I told you that you don't have to choose between love and letting go? What if there was a third option?" The dragon's massive eyes focused on her with laser intensity. "Speak plainly, human." David stepped forward, pulling out his holographic projector. The air filled with blueprints and schematics, showing the station transformed into a mobile platform. "We can make this station into a ship. You wouldn't have to leave your home. You'd take it with you." "Impossible," Zarathos breathed, but there was wonder in his voice. "Not impossible," Mino said. "Difficult, yes. It would require the cooperation of multiple species. the most advanced technology in the galaxy, and probably a few miracles. But humans are good at miracles, especially when we're helping someone we care about. But why? Zarathos asked. Why? Would your kind expend such effort for an old dragon who has nothing left to offer? Mino smiled, and in that smile was all the stubborn compassion that made humanity simultaneously the most frustrating and most beloved species in the galaxy. Because loneliness is a universal language, Zarathos, and because love, real love, is worth waiting for, worth fighting for, and worth the impossible. David was already deep in calculations, his fingers dancing over his data pad. We'll need quantum displacement drives, a biomechanical interface that won't reject your integration, and probably the entire engineering core of the Terran fleet. So you'll do it? Zarathos asked, his voice small despite its power. We'll do it, Mino confirmed. But you have to promise us something in return. Anything. Promise us that when we get you mobile, you'll actually go out there and look for what you're seeking. No more waiting. No more hiding. The great dragon was quiet for a long moment, and when he spoke, there was something new in his voice. Hope. I promise, Dr. Chen. Though I suspect that perhaps I have already found something worth treasuring right here. As the artificial sun set over New Kepler Station, painting the dragon scales in shades of gold and crimson, Mino and David began the impossible task of moving a mountain. But then again, humans had always specialized in the impossible, and sometimes, just sometimes, that was exactly what the universe needed.